obviously I'm super lucky because there's hundreds of BJJ gyms all across the world. I could have been born anywhere. I could have joined any gym. I could have done any sport. But I was so lucky to join this gym at that time in this country because it made me become the person I am today. And obviously, Mandala might not be the most famous gym in the world, but the people inside of it, the kind of jiu-jitsu we're getting ready to show to the world is developing. Because I just believe you don't need money. You don't need loads of fancy things. Mat, 2 people, you can create this place. This came out of thin air jiu-jitsu. And then all these people we have on the wall, all of them taught each other. And then it came to Vinny. And then Vinny made the gym. 100%. I was super lucky 100%. That did happen. I've seen people all my life, because obviously it's London, doing drugs, doing horrible things, just committing crimes. And I think if you got maybe that one child that maybe is vaping in their room, you could got them here, it could give them a serious like kind of change of life. I mean, always being on the mats, I've never really had a chance to do any of these things. I've seen people all my life vaping, doing all this shit in London, smoking weed, doing all these things. And I've obviously tried to ignore it and then spending my time here. So I try my best to ignore it because I believe that it's just one thing for younger people. They don't need, like, all they need is something they love and to never quit on it.
First off, introduce us for a little bit. Who are you? A little bit of information about you so they know who you are.
I'm Ander Casanova Vidal. I'm 14 years of age and I'm a BJJ athlete.
But you got some medals too. There's some. Keep going. Tell me about what you've won.
Won a lot of smaller level comps and a few major titles. And yeah.
You know what? I want to get into that today. You said you're 14 years old. You've been doing jiu-jitsu for how long?
7 years.
7 years. Talk to me from the beginning. Where did you start? Where did the whole journey for jiu-jitsu start for you?
It's probably just one day at home. I remember my dad asked me if I wanted to do anything because I was just a lazy little kid in primary school, not doing anything after school. And then he suggested I do judo. And then we looked around, but there weren't any judo schools unless for like an hour and 40 minutes away. So then we changed it. We looked for any martial art. And then we found Mandala in...
So this was your first...
It's my first club.
What was it like when you first got in?
It was a lot because it's a brand new thing, right? Like nothing prepares you for joining jiu-jitsu. Like it's a very unique kind of sport that I can't really compare it to anything else.
And it's like when you said you're 7 years old, right? When you first get in there 7 years old and you're looking around and you're seeing all these people, you're seeing their mats, seeing people in gis, people bow. What's going through your head? I know you said you can't describe it, but like, what's your first impression of like something like that?
You feel a little bit overwhelmed because you can see there's a lot of respect between everyone. And at a younger age, you might not think about that as much, but now that I'm getting older, I understand it more. Because whereas when you're a child, you see everyone with the gis, bowing when they come on the mat, shaking people's hands. Unless you do jiu-jitsu, you don't really understand that. Like, in life, I've never had to shake someone's hand. It was a first for me, especially at that young age. And it was really cool to do that.
When did you start, like, loving the sport? Was it very early on or did it take a while?
Early on, I'll be honest, I was training once a week, maybe. And then I enjoyed it when we played games, but there were some more serious lessons and I didn't want to come. I'd tell my parents I didn't want to come, I wanted to quit. And my parents would always say, fine, man, I never want to quit, I'd keep going. It would be just a thing I would say because I would just be a kid, right? Try to be rebellious, try to say, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but I always wanted to do it. Always found it cool, so yeah.
What was it like? What was it about it? Because like, to speak for me, for example, right? When I first got here, the first thing that I noticed, I didn't jiu-jitsu before, but I loved sparring. Like getting sparring is so different. Like being there and like you're just in like that kind of close proximity, you and a person, you're trying to grab at each other, you're trying to choke someone, you're trying to like break their leg, all of that thing. I love it. You know, like it's something about that kind of environment that's very rare. Like you don't really find that in other places.
Yeah.
So for me, sparring was the first thing that I was like, oh, I love that about jiu-jitsu. What was it for you? Was it similar?
Maybe because I started a bit younger, it wasn't sparring. I mean, sparring was obviously it was always cool because you see people getting thrown about, people crying because they just injured themselves. But it was for just playing games, honestly, because as a kid, your imagination is just the bigger side of you. Like, it matters more than anything. And then you have these games and where we use belts and stuff, where you have to jump over things. Like, different games to primary school, like football and stuff is a little bit different. And yeah, obviously having Vinny as a professor, the classes were always fun. They were always entertaining. And yeah.
What were some of like the first things that you learned about jiu-jitsu? Like, what was like the first? I know you're very young, so it's very hard to. Okay, let's come a little bit forward now, not just like when you first started. But when you first started understanding, okay, I'm doing this sport and I like doing it. Like, what were some of the first things that you learned? Would you remember like the first kind of like thing you had to get better at?
I mean, for me, always like since I was born, I've always had probably not the best behavior. So the discipline coming to the mats has probably changed me the most. Like, behavior has been the main thing that I've always worked on, because it's just been a big thing for me. So obviously we came for jiu-jitsu, but I was always in that discipline side of things, which was really important for like my development at a younger age.
Speak more about that. What type of discipline does jiu-jitsu like have? Like, we talked about a little bit like the bowing and the respect. How is that kind of like? How does that manifest on the mat? How does that kind of show itself?
I mean, obviously, like, it's a little bit zero tolerance. Like, if any like major disrespect happens, you get kicked out of the class. And obviously, you learn over time, but it's just not acceptable, especially when you step on the mats. So you kind of learn to switch. Because I was coming from primary school, I could do whatever I want. In year like year 3, I could do whatever I want, run around, scream. Then you come here, and then obviously you're still playing games, but you have to have a level of behavior where you need to control yourself. Because if not, there's punishments. Like, and that's what I learned that helped my behavior improve over time. Like, there's punishment. Your actions have punishments. So yeah, probably that.
I agree. Like, even for me, right? Even at when I started at my age, it was like seeing the respect that the guys showed amongst each other. So like, as if when you come here, everyone respects everyone. Doesn't matter if you're young or old. As long as you're good and you respect people, people will show that respect back to you. So it's like a cool little like environment that they have here. That it's like, okay, if the like, because of, we treat our professors with respect and people like we've done more experience of respect, it kind of like shows, and like people kind of like, we can still joke around, but there's still that level of respect, and like it is really important. I think especially for someone who starts young, that's a thing, important stuff to kind of like build up on. When did you start taking it seriously? Like, when were you like, okay, I want to actually start going competitions, I want to actually start doing this?
I think I did my first competition maybe 2-3 years after I started jiu-jitsu. I never, because jiu-jitsu isn't in the Olympics, right? I always looked at the Olympics like a big deal. And then I realized there was stuff like smooth comp, which is a way to compete, IBJJF. There was like other ways of branching out. So I would see, I saw that there were competitions. My professor told me, guys, try sign up for competitions. It's good experience. And obviously I went, I competed, got smashed my first time.
We all do.
Yeah. And yeah.
So like, okay, so let's go there for a little bit. Like, competitions, right? Like, your first competition, you get there. Do you remember where it was?
Yeah, it was at the time my dad was working at the school where it happened, and they were using the hall to do it, and it was a small cramped. It was really cramped. There was loads of people pushing. I remember it was just really loud. I remember my other professor, not Vinny, Joey, tying my belt for the first time, getting ready to compete as that little 8-year-old boy. And yeah.
Do you remember the feelings like when you're about to go into the mat and you're like a little bit nervous, but do you remember how you felt?
A little bit overstimulated. Like, it's just a lot to take in. Maybe at a young age I didn't think about it as much. I just went with the flow, like just tried my best. Yeah, I didn't really see an importance in competing. I just went there. I wanted to go there, test my skills, see what I had to improve on, and from there it just kept going.
Yeah, because I can speak for myself a little bit. Like, competing at that for your first competition really shows you two things. First, it shows you that you actually love it, because when you're in amongst everyone there, like literally everyone else is either sparring or waiting to go on to compete. It's like this adrenaline, but there's also atmosphere that you have in the arena, and it's like you feel like you're part of it. You know what I mean? You're part of something that's actually big. You know, and like to me, once I felt that, I first feeling of that, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. You know, what was your like first experience like when you were done? Like, did you win? What was that whole experience like for you?
So I lost my first competition, and it was a little bit nah. Like I wasn't bothered, but I wasn't happy that I lost, because obviously I'd been training a little bit more. By the time I hit 2-3 years, I started to train a little bit more and expected a little bit more on my performance. I remember I fought a tall kid, and turns out he did a legal move on me, but the ref didn't say anything. But yeah, I remember losing. I got third, but I still like stepping onto the podium, receiving my medal. It just gave me a little
Boost,
a little boost of just like self-content. But I realized that everyone that was taking photos of the first place, and the first place himself, smiling so much, and I was a little bit like sad that I'd lost. So I saw that, okay, being third, even second, isn't cool. I want to be number one. I don't want to be behind that. So yeah, probably.
Let's talk a bit about that there, because I agree. I think at some point in your life you have to lock in and be like, I want to be the best. I like second and third is cool, and it's like you did work hard, but when you work hard, you actually wanted that work hard to pay off. So when you started going, okay, I want to be the best, is there anything you have to change about your life? Did you have to go training more,
100%.
start eating right? Talk to me about that.
So training, obviously now I'm training 6-7 times a week, 3 hours a day, teaching for 2. So it's getting to a more professional kind of training rate, where I want to train to win major competitions. And then with the diet, I don't think I really did anything. So I started training more, but with the diet, I was a kid, you know, you don't put as much importance into it. But now I'll probably start focusing more on my diet, because I want to start winning more and giving my body what it needs to be able to perform to these levels.
Like, I often think about this too, and I want to know if you kind of feel the same way, right? Like, once you lock in, again, using that word again, but once you want to like actually do something with your life that you think, okay, this is something I want to do, it takes you away from your friends. It takes you away from everything that your previous life. Like, I have so little time now. I'm focused on everything I'm doing. That's all I care about. That's all I do. But it also isolates me from my friends. What was that kind of transition like for you? Like, when you started, did it kind of like move you away from your friends, or did you like just, I guess, make new friends while you're here, I guess?
So I did make a lot of new friends here. Yeah, it's a very welcoming place. But I don't think it affected me as much, with training once, twice a week. I still had loads of time after school, but like in between school, I was always hanging out with my friends. It probably started affecting my relationships more now than ever, because I'm training so much. But I learned to kind of having to accept that, because I know what it brings in the future. And even now, like, I'm not saying it like I'm lonely. Like, I have loads of friends in the mat that train, my professors, all of that. I still hang out with my friends, but I know I have to make a little bit of a sacrifice of not hanging out with my friends all the time, which I think has helped me the most in my life, and just focusing on myself and my future career in jiu-jitsu.
You say that you think it's gonna like pay off in the end. Like, talk to me about that. Like, how do you view it? Do you view it as like, I put the work in now, and it's gonna like, like the one work I put in now is also gonna be reflected in the future?
So I mean, for me, jiu-jitsu is a never-ending sport. Like, there's never enough techniques you can practice, not enough classes you can do, not enough competitions you can win. Like, there's always more to do. So for me, it's just that hunger of wanting to keep going. And yeah.
You say your training is what, 6, 5? How many times a week?
So normally 6, but sometimes I push it to 7 on the open mat if I'm not sleeping.
That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, like, man, guys, you have to understand, like, training once or twice, it's like, it kills your body. Right now, I am dead on my feet, literally. If I wasn't sitting down, I'd be like on the floor like a puddle. But 6 times, 7 times a week, that's insane. What do you, first off, before I ask what you learned from that, what is it like? What do you enjoy most about training?
Probably just like, it depends, because there's like 2 sides to jiu-jitsu. There's the social side and the sports side. So obviously coming here, being with friends, talking, just living basically. And then there's the sports side, which is just learning jiu-jitsu, doing sparring, just beating people up with cool techniques that you saw on your phone, winning competitions, like all of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like the more I train, the more like I just carve this like. First of all, I just feel better. Like there's definitely like a thing about like the more you train, the more better you feel, the more relaxed you feel. You know, yeah, less anxiety.
Yeah.
You just like, you know, like it feels. Also, you also obviously when you're on the mat, you feel more comfortable. You know, talk to me about that from doing like once or twice a week to 6 times a week. What have you learned? Like how has that like affected your performance, like jiu-jitsu performance itself? Like.
So in competition itself, it's just boosted. It's just made me better. But in terms of my body, it's obviously it starts to hurt a little bit, because you have to realize from those 1-2 classes you're giving your 100%. Because over the days you're not here, you're building up that need to want to like let everything go in sparring. So changing to 6 or 7 times a week, you obviously have to tone it down, because if you're going 100% every day, injuries are gonna happen. Like it's inevitable. So I need to tone it down and give maybe my not zero obviously, but like 70%. Like you notice you're just being more technical, try not to get injured, teach other people, because obviously I've been training the most out of the kids class now. So I need to be able to see this and be like, okay, I want to help my friends now to learn. I want to help them make their journey to where I am, competing, getting better, winning major titles. And yeah.
I think that's so true. I think a large part of like, I remember talking about something, but a large part of jiu-jitsu is learning about recovery. You have to learn how to recover. You have to learn how to be like in a way where you always training, but also like recovering and like, you know, even at the highest class, you know, they have someone to help them recover. But at this level, it's about understanding your own body, understanding how much you can push yourself, understanding how much you definitely need to rest, what you need to do outside of the gym tool, that when you can be at your maximum when you come to the gym. You also mentioned a little bit that you kind of help other people, like you also train them. What have you learned by training other people?
It's hard. Like Vinny has a really big job, a really big responsibility on his shoulders that he carries around all the time, which is just helping everyone. Like imagine he started from I'm helping them from where they've learned everything from Vinny. And Vinny's taught them from square one. So you really have to admire what he's doing with everyone. Like it's so hard. Imagine kids that don't want to be here, kids that hate jiu-jitsu, kids that love jiu-jitsu, kids that can't behave. There's so much work to be put in. And yeah, helping kids is still hard. And imagine I haven't started from square one. So I really admire what Vinny does. And realize that it's not a quick thing. Like obviously it took me 2 to 3 years to start kind of training more. It's a little bit of an investment with jiu-jitsu. It's not gonna happen overnight. Like you're gonna have to spend nights, days here just sweating, injuring yourself, just trying your best to get better.
Yeah, speak more on that then. What advice would you give to beginners? So someone just walked into this gym, Mandela gym, they have no idea about jiu-jitsu. They just came here. They're like, oh man, pull guard, close guard, what am I doing? And then you go, wait, actually, let me tell you something. What practical advice would you give that person?
I mean, first of all, before we go into that, there's an idea where people can burn out in jiu-jitsu, and it's a massive spread thing where people talk about younger athletes not being able to push past. So they win lots at kids and then they don't succeed past blue belt. I don't believe in this. I think that if you love something, you will never burn out. Obviously, if you have an injury, then it's different. But I believe that with your mind, you can just keep training until you die. Like you can always train. If you want to train, you can train.
Disclaimer, please don't train until you die. We're not advising anyone to. I'm joking, keep going.
So yeah, the new generation, like the newest wave of white belts that I've recently joined, maybe 2-3 months ago, I've seen them training 4 times a week, sometimes 3. Like it's insane, because I admire that so much, because the progress they're gonna make, it's gonna be way quicker, and especially because of starting at 12, 13, 14, even 15, it's gonna be easier for them to pick up like just everything. Because obviously starting at a young age, you're not gonna understand everything as easily. But the white belts are just pushing themselves to train as much as they can, the new teenage wave that I've been training with recently. And it's insane because they've barely been training and they'll give me a round, which is crazy. So that's why I believe that burning out, don't think it can happen.
So like train as much as you can at the beginning, because that's the only way to learn.
I mean, there's some people, like you'll see it. There'll be some people that obviously they don't have the want or the body, even the physicality to be able to put their body through that. And that's fine. You can train once a week, once a month, whatever. But if you're ready and you feel like you're an athlete, you're ready to be able to train 5, even 6 times a week, I would advise it. Obviously, with moderation, you don't want to hurt yourself.
At the beginning, when you're training, what's something to keep in mind? Like for example, like should they start with like, okay, learn how to pull guard, or learn how to, like, you know, defense, or like learn one submission? You know, what advice would you give them?
Just take it slow. There's no need to rush. Like, you have so much time. There's no need to rush. Master one thing. See one thing, one technique, but get perfect. So you know when you get that technique, you're going to be able to finish it, or you're going to be able to pull it off. Instead of like developing 100 skills to 1%, develop one skill to 100% and build off there. Because that way you create a base to fall back on. So you know when your 100 techniques aren't working, you're screwed. You don't have anything to fall back on. But when you have that one big layer of 100%, you know you can do whatever that is. It just gives you that kind of reassurance that you'll be able to finish the fight, or just defend yourself even.
100%. And I think the thing with jiu-jitsu, it all kind of connects. So if you learn like one technique really well, it means that you have to get the basics right, and getting the basics of all the other things, and then you learn so many things just on the periphery. So like if you just know, okay, I know how to pull guard, it means you got some defense. You know, it means you know, you understand. Okay, I'm in the guard. Okay, I know from standing to guard, I know how to do that. You know, like let's get a little, like really into the details now. Talk to me about like your advantages, your strengths, and, you know, not too much your weaknesses in case your ops are watching. But talk to me about your strengths. What are some of the things that you really learn how to do really well when you start jiu-jitsu? What are some of the things you're getting better at, you're getting like a good hand on?
So when I started, I remember I was a little bit more of like a plot. I wasn't athletic. I didn't have any strength. I was just an average kid that was eating everything in his fridge, coming here, using all my weight.
Yeah.
So I did 2 things. I'll try takedown, and I'll try use all my weight. So that was my thing. But I'd win. I would win. So I was
Smart
like,
them to defeat.
I'd be like, oh, this works, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, I see you need to be technical. You can't just smash everyone with all your weight. Yeah, that's probably just the main thing. Like, coming into the mat, you're just gonna fight with whatever you got. Like, you gotta adapt to survive. There's not gonna always be like oh, I'm gonna do this now and I'm gonna defend myself. Sometimes you'll be like, fuck, I'm just gonna take it and learn off what happens. And you just have to go with it. Just accept it.
Do you feel more comfortable doing like leg locks, or like doing, like, you know, what submission do you feel most comfortable doing? Like you can see that you've improved during the time training.
I love a choke. Like, any chokes are just, for me, is just the best, because you have to have it so perfect to finish it. If you imagine you have a rear naked, you have it on the neck, you know it's in. If you have it on the chin, it doesn't work. So you have to have that properly in to be able to finish it. Then foot locks, for my age set, you're not allowed to do most foot locks, or any foot locks really. You're basically not allowed to touch your legs. It's just a no-no until you get to 16 or blue belt. So for me, the main techniques is any chokes, any arm locks, arm bars, straight arm locks. Yeah, and just that's the main thing, chokes and arm locks.
How do you refine the details? Because you talk about, like, if you try to choke someone, you choke them on the chin, and they're not really helping enough, but you have to choke them on the neck. How did you learn to, like, learn that, okay, cool, I have to be like more slower and intentional when I'm doing this? Like, what was that like?
Probably from my professors and watching jiu-jitsu. Like, Vinny always has like a different eye. So he has his normal eyes for vision, and then he has his jiu-jitsu eyes. He'll watch the sparring, he'll see everyone, and he'll tell everyone what they're doing wrong. Because imagine when you've been training 30+ years, it just becomes natural. And then, yeah, he just, every time you make a mistake, there's always when you do this, make sure you do this, and all of that. There's just a
The
constant reminder.
Mm.
And then watching jiu-jitsu is the best thing. Analyzing jiu-jitsu. It's become more of a habit now. I'll be watching jiu-jitsu every day now. It's just fun. I just enjoy it. I see how the pros do it, the ones who have succeeded in the sport, how they've done it, how they've won world championships, which is really important. And yeah, that's probably it.
I want to now get into like the hard parts of the jiu-jitsu, because we all know the good parts. We all know like coming, having fun is the best sport ever. But it's not all sunshine. It's like you're tired, all the time. You get injuries. There's hard moments. There's doubts. There's losing in competitions.
100%.
So yeah, let's start with like the competitions and like losing and stuff like that. Has there been like some difficult moments that you've had in competitions?
Yeah, but it probably wasn't just a competition. So obviously losing, you start to doubt yourself. But it's probably off the mat as well. Like so many people are gonna tell you, no, you can't make a living off this. No, you can't become successful off this. And you kind of have to block it out. And then when you go to competition, you'll go there with all your might, ready to win, try to prove them wrong that you can be successful, you can win. And then you lose, then everything starts pouring in, all the bad words, all the bad thoughts you've ever received. They'll start pouring in that moment. You can't do it, you can't succeed, you're failure, all of this. It'll just start flooding in. That's what makes you want to quit on the spot. But obviously you have to be strong, not listen to the thoughts. Keep trying, keep fighting. And yeah.
How did you deal with that then? Because you're right, like that's the main thing you get, Like my mum doesn't understand jiu-jitsu at all. So when I tell her I'm going to jiu-jitsu, she's just like, you're gonna go roll around with guys? Like, like why? So, but and that's me not even doing it from with professional aspirations. How do you, first of mentally in your own mind, kind of make sure that you have the strong enough mentality to keep going, but also how do you handle like the outside people?
Probably Vinny, Vinny's so good. Like we're so lucky to have him. Because he's like, the way he speaks and the way he reassures you of things is like, really? Can I do that? Like there were some things he tells you, you just look at him and like you don't even believe him. It's like he's lying to your face. What? I could do this? Really? If I kept going? And then you kind of think, I could. You start to build your confidence. Then you go back to competition, you win. Then your ego's at the top, and then you don't want to stop. And then you lose again. Then your ego goes down. And then you're feeling for more. You want that ego to go back up. You want that rise, that boost that you always feel when you win to go back up. And yeah, that's probably.
I think that's so important. I think you're right. The coaches and the people that kind of like push you on are so important, because they kind of like, especially when you're starting out, or like when you're new, when you're young, like you need someone who's had the experience to tell you where to go, like how to like move, how see your potential before you even see it. Talk to me about Vinny then. Talk to me about his role. Like how was, not just Vinny, what some people that kind of helped you in your journey and really like giving you some confidence, to actually try this thing?
So we have a few coaches at our club. So obviously we have the main coach, which is Vinny, our head coach. Then we have maybe coaches that used to teach more, but maybe stepped down a little bit. Gerard, Joey, and Alex. They were three big people for me. And then we obviously have Pierre, but I didn't meet Pierre till later on. He's become more relevant now. And yeah, they've just helped me all the way through, like just constantly helping me. Like, yeah, it's just.
Do you remember like one advice of something that one of them said that kind of stuck with you over the years?
Probably Vinny. Like Vinny just always says that like hard work pays off, and it's true. Like you see, the people that are at the top making all the money, they've worked so hard for this. And if not them, their dads, their people that have given them the money, they've worked so hard for the money. Like I don't believe that it's gonna come easy. I know it's gonna be hard to get all of this. And then that we have our coaching, are constantly reminding us about this, which is really important.
I think that's so important. I feel like Mandela is like such a cool place, man. Like from my experience in Mandela, the people here are like the best, like just genuine people. You find genuine people here. You find people who actually love jiu-jitsu. No one's here just hates to be here. Everyone here actually really, and everyone's actually really good at jiu-jitsu, which obviously makes it like enjoyable and fun. I think that's important too. Like there's some gyms out there that aren't that great, and they make people not like jiu-jitsu because of that. And like they have a bad perception of jiu-jitsu because of the people they find at their gym. But like that's not where it's like here. Like what role has Mandela kind of played in your kind of like development? Not just the coaches, but the people that you find.
I mean, obviously, I'm super lucky because there's hundreds of BJJ gyms all across the world. I could have been born anywhere. I could have joined any gym. I could have done any sport. But I was so lucky to join this gym at that time in this country because it made me become the person I am today. And obviously, Mandala might not be the most famous gym in the world, but the people inside of it, the kind of jiu-jitsu we're getting ready to show to the world is developing. Because I just believe you don't need money, you don't need loads of fancy things. Matt, 2 people, you can create this place. This came out of thin air jiu-jitsu. And then all these people we have on the wall, all of them taught each other. And then it came to Vinny, and then Vinny made the gym.
100%.
I was super lucky that this
100%.
happened.
100%. I agree with you so much. A lot of jiu-jitsu is a lot about like just like teaching and like, you know, seeing the fruits of your labor in the future. You know, like you put work, you learn things that you teach the next generation, and that kind of like goes on that way. What has you talk about a little bit about personally, like, you know, jiu-jitsu has kind of changed you, you know, like in some ways. What's some of the ways that you think jiu-jitsu has kind of like changed you, like as a person?
Just to be humble, like, it just shows you that everyone's a human being. There's no need to be rude to each other. There's no need to have fights between each other. We need to help each other climb up, to be successful, to make money. We need to help each other. And that's probably just like a main ideology that Mandala has, that we help each other. We don't care about arguments. We don't care about stupidity that's happened off the mat. Even bad things have happened, like serious people, like people don't like each other. And then now they're training together, smiling, laughing. Just, we need to help each other. There's no point in fighting. We just need to help each other climb to the top.
No, 100%. I agree with that. And I feel like that's the best part about a place like this. You talk about confidence too. How do you, as an athlete, trying to be the best, you talk about, you know, you don't want second, you don't want third, you want first. How do you balance confidence and humility? Like, how does that, like, in your mind, how do you like structure it?
I mean, it's London. So for me, everyone's, like, most people here are humble. And when you're not humble, you're told, like, people do not care. They care that you become a good human being, especially here. If you're being humble, they'll tell you. If you're not being humble, they'll tell you. Like, they'll tell you to your face, you're being a little bit of a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? And that just kind of forces you to think, damn, I need to be humble. I need to work with jiu-jitsu and be humble and just live my life. Especially, I think, because of where I was born. It's just a very serious place where we take being humble very, like, it's just respect. Like, there's no need to think you're better than anyone. And especially here at Mandala, that's just an idea that's been showed to me through all 7 years of my training.
But then when you're on the mat, how do you turn that humility and humbleness to, like, actually, I'm trained for this, I'm going to win. You know, I'm confident in my skills, and this person, they're not going to beat me. How do you turn to, like, that athlete mentality?
Vinny comes to most of the comps, so he's always helping me. And one thing he's always said to me is that there's no need to be cocky. Just go there and do your thing. You don't need to think you're better than the guy. You don't need to say anything about the guy. You just need to believe that you're there to fight. You're there to do your thing. It's about you. It's your day. You don't have to be, this guy's shit, this guy's this, and guy's that. Just, I've trained for this. I'm ready for this. I'm going to smash this guy. Fight there.
Yeah. How do you like the adrenaline? Like, you know, you're in the fight, adrenaline goes, all training goes out the window in your mind. How do you calm yourself to bring yourself back to, like, you know?
Again, talking about professionalism, and that is a really professional place. And especially if I'm thinking as jiu-jitsu as a future path, I have to think every comp is like a job interview. I'm getting ready, but maybe not a real job interview, just one you do with your friend. Because you're getting ready to get to Worlds, Europeans, Brasileiros, Pans, these major tournaments where you start to build a name, a reputation, and money. That's where all the money starts coming in. That's why you need to kind of, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Talk to me more about that long-term aspirations then. Put forward 10 years, 20 years from now, where do you see yourself?
So, loads of money. Loads of money.
I thought it wasn't about the money. He just wants a mountain of cash.
It's all about the money.
Give me a mountain of cash. So
Respectfully, people have said to me all my life, it's never about the money. It's always about the money. No one, there's nothing for free in life. Let's be real. Nothing's free. And I just wanna be successful in my life, be able to help my family, my friends, have a good life where I never have to stress about bills, about rent, about just problems. I just want to be able to put in all the work now. When I retire 30 years, just breathe, relax, and do my thing.
From a technical point of view, then, from like a jiu-jitsu technical point of view, what are you trying to like get to? Like, obviously you want to reach black belt, but like, how do you think when you reach black belt, what kind of like things you'd hope to have learned by then?
By then, just become an amazing person, just a perfect human being. Just have no errors, a robot. But probably black belt world champion, which is worlds is the biggest, the largest kind of competition there is in the world of jiu-jitsu, and winning that is like such a big deal. So, and especially at black belt, obviously winning other belts is still important, but black belt world champion is just, that's the end goal. And you can collect titles because every year there's the same competition. So I'd want to be 7, 8-time world champion, 10-time world champion. There's never enough titles. Like I said before, there's always more you can do, more you can win, just more to kind of take over the sport.
I think what I really like about jiu-jitsu is that it's both a personal growth, but also athletic and professional growth. Like, for you to become a black belt, you have to get humbled so many times on the mat. You have to learn respect. It's all like, like the more time you spend doing that, hopefully the more you become humble along with it. So like like you said, you become a good person by the end of it, because to spend 20 years doing something like this, you see all the black belts, the chill, the most like unassuming dudes, but like you get them on the mat, they'll absolutely crush you. It will absolutely crush you, I respect a lot that you started doing this at a young age, that you've seen doing it now, and you keep doing it, like you have the aspiration to do it. Talk to me, what advice would you give to other people your age now? I feel like I feel like a lot of people have like a lot of doubts about your generation, 6, 7, all of that stuff. But I feel like they have doubts about your generation because they don't understand you guys. They don't understand what drives you. They don't understand what makes you guys, tick, what you guys want. First off, like, what do you think about people like doubting your generation, but also like how important you think it is to find something you like and continue doing it?
Honestly, screw them. Like, to hate on the whole generation of people is just, how could you? How could you say this generation's bad? You're just killing the dreams of millions of people, of children. Cause you think your generation, like, what kind of thing is that? Like, I don't think it's nice. Cause I always said about helping each other. Our generation is like I said, I want to take over jiu-jitsu. I want to take over the sport. We want to win competition. We want to make Mandela a massive club. Like, we want to do things. And then there's obviously the good side of our generation. And then there's maybe not such good side. Maybe doing some things they shouldn't be doing, which is obviously a more serious topic. So I'm not going to go into. But that gives kind of people that do really want to aspire to greatness, make all this money, have kind of bad reputation, which I've seen people all my life, because obviously it's London, doing drugs, doing horrible things, just committing crimes. And I think if you got maybe that one child that maybe is vaping in their room, you could got them here, it could give them a serious like kind of change of life.
Absolutely.
A new chance to kind of, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, like build something consistent, build something disciplined, like actually try to strive for something, like all of that is so important. And I think that you can only find that on here, I'm guessing that's what you found too, right?
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff there.
I mean, always being on the mats, I've never really had a chance to do any of these things. I've seen people all my life vaping, doing all this shit in London, smoking weed, doing all these things. And I've obviously tried to ignore it and then spending my time here. So I try my best to ignore it, because I believe that it's just one thing for younger people. They don't need, like, all they need is something they love and to never quit on it.
So yeah, like I think like I completely agree. I think that's the best advice for people. Like, if you're lost, if you feel like your life's not going anywhere, especially a lot of young people have anxiety and they have no idea like what's going on in the world, and they feel like they don't know what to do next. Find something that you care about like this, and just commit yourself. 6 days a week, 7 days a week. Trust me, you'll find yourself in that. Like you just keep going. You'll find confidence in yourself, and then you find like some clarity about what you want to do with your life. You talked a lot about like like finding something that you love and like committing yourself to it, and like what that's helped you, like, and also being a good person. Like, is that what you derive? Is that what you look at as like, okay, this is what life is supposed to be about? Like, is that what you found? I mean, you're really young, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was talking about like having a passion, having a love in your life, and yeah, for me, it's just to do jiu-jitsu, beat everyone, have loads of world titles, be filthy rich, have a nice family, and that's it.
That's it.
Like, just enjoy life. I don't want to do anything else.
That's it.
I don't believe in just growing old and miserable by yourself. I don't think that's cool. I think just a life with a big family, winning loads of world titles, just becoming the best jiu-jitsu athlete on the planet, and a great person, human being as well. A role model to others is the most important thing, and what I strive to in my life.
That's sick. Thank you, man. And it's been
Thank you for
amazing.
having me.
Thank you, man. You are, like I said, you're really cool. You're doing really cool stuff. Keep going. Keep smashing it. And I'll see you next time. You gotta bring your medals, man. I told you, you gotta flex on these people, man. You gotta bring. I want more medals around your neck. You gotta walk around like, I don't know, like 50 Cent or something, you know. Anyway, thank you, man. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. People behind the camera. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace.